And so I'm gonna turn the corner here and tell you about what all of this emotional accessibility means. I told you already, I'm walking you through a process here. We covered the situation. I just dragged you through the mud on all the considerations and drama that is a real part of our challenges today. But I want to round out our conversation and open up for questions and discussions by first addressing the opportunity before us. And the opportunity is significant enough that I would say family business will never be the same. Family business will never be the same. There is a complete reboot on humanity going on right now. Our view on faith, our view on travel, our view on government, our view on savings, our view on employment, all being renewed, are already renewed. And in that renewal, there is opportunity. Because where someone is abandoning the relationships that didn't pan out over COVID, or firing the consultant that didn't adapt, that is opportunity for growth, opportunity for engagement, for those of us who acknowledge that life is fundamentally different now. So everything I'm going to talk about right now is for the think and doers. If you're a wait and seer, we could just call it a day right here. Just thanks for the time and appreciate you dialing in. But thanks, William. If you're a think and doer, let's get after this. What are we going to think about and do to ensure that not only do we survive this window, but after COVID-19, we're the darling, we're the example, we're the best in class, we're who our clients see as a leader. So it requires you to all agree that branding is important. You think about the products, the services, the solutions, the partnerships that are part of your business. The challenge is that each one of these is unique. They each have a different cadence. What brand does is it binds them. It creates a common dialogue across them so that whether I read your newsletter today or meet with a coworker of yours face-to-face tomorrow or hear from a partner down the week, there is something enduring, something that sticks, that reminds me who it's coming from and why. Now, this is the fundamental of branding, but I want to show you why it's so big and hairy now. You probably have heard of advertising, marketing, and public relations your whole lives, but I want to change those words for you for a second. Advertising tended to be the mechanism. Can you see, William? Should I zoom in a little bit? It's good? Yeah, perfect. So advertising tended to be the mechanism that you use to introduce people for the first time, fifth time to your business. Let me give you a parallel. If you're driving on the road and you see a sign on the side of the freeway, or you're listening to the radio and you hear an ad come on, you know, that advertising was like, hey, listen to me, buy from us, come to the game. That was really an introductory behavior. It was like, hey, we exist, know us. Once someone knew that you existed, you then earned the right to explain stuff to them. And that's where marketing tended to fit. Websites, brochures, a trade show. Marketing is really an explanatory action, right? I say marketing and you see it's like a longer format conversation than an ad would have been, okay? So if advertising introduced and marketing explained, eventually, once you had that employee, that investor, that donor, you wanted to stay engaged with them. And that's why it was called investor relations or public relations or employee relations. Well, what I really want to help you see now is this upper echelon here, this I see. This is the stuff I pay for. This is the stuff I earn. This is the stuff that ends up being free. When employees advocate for me, when customers advocate for me, when people re-forward my LinkedIn post, that's the best media you can buy. It's the juiciest, it's the most engaging, but it needs to be earned through a series of dialogues. And so what I'm going to be focusing on now is whether you're introducing yourself, explaining yourself, or engaging the audience that has accepted the invite, what are you going to say? How are you going to engage them? Well, where am I coming from on this? I've had the same job for a long time. I happened to started a business doing this not too long ago, but everything I do every single day is focused on this topic, brand strategy, the strategic and intentional expression of who you are and why you matter. I teach it in university classes and have for 15 straight years. I do it for clients in all kinds of categories every single day, from microchipped to food, you pick it. And I do a lot of talks, a lot of speeches to a lot of conferences. The conference I was just talking with before you today, if you think next gen businesses is nuanced, The conference I was just talking to is the Fermentation Society of America. They only deal in the fermented food business. And guess what? The protocols are the same. So let's talk about the protocols. These are the 3 things, and I'm going to give you the tools to attach to them. 3 things. And again, I'm going to get into each one of them. One of them is to recognize that you don't just get to make money anymore. I also want to know how you're saving the world while you make money. Okay? That's what I call working like an impactor. Okay? And when I say working like an impactor, I don't just want to know how your business thrives. I want to know what impact it also has on society. I'm going to dig into each of these, so don't worry, but just take note, work like an impactor, okay? Second thing to note is I've been saying all day, you know, business is different now. The expectation is different now. It functions different now. That means that there needs to be change in the enterprise and how the business operates. Can you be the one that makes the change? Can you, as a family business leader, maybe you're not the name on the, you know, you're not the actual founder, you're the 2nd gen, the 3rd gen of the founder, fine. Well, guess what? You have a superpower now. You get to change and adapt the business so that it thrives in this new era, and the new way that people engage the sales team, and the new way that people engage content, watch videos, or pursue a job opportunity. So again, we'll talk about both of these. Work like an impactor, enterprise like a maker. Recognize that you are a builder now. I don't care how long your family has been in the business is literally different now. Okay, great. How does the business need to adapt to thrive, and who's going to lead that adaptation? For a lot of our clients that are 2nd or 3rd gen, where the 1st gen is still around, this is the key to that 2nd gen person really making an impact on the business, right? They're 20 years younger, 30 years younger than the leader. Well, what are you going to do? Hey, Sonny, I see that you have the same last name, huh? What are you going to do to our business? Well, customers want to engage the sales folks remotely some of the time now. How are we going to show up as the sales force that is totally comfortable with remote sales? All right, well, that's enterprising like a maker. The third piece here is to stop waking up every morning looking at your toes and saying, how's the business day going to go? Although that might feel like you're surviving, you're not going to thrive if you wake up every day asking yourself, where's the business going now? And that's why I'm not talking about branding. I'm talking about brand strategy. And you know, strategy comes from war planning. Take any great battle, any great fighter, and you know, if you just jump into the battle, you're probably not going to win. Whereas when you observe the landscape, you assess your competitors' resources, you check the weather. World War II was won by weather. I mean, really, okay, folks, so my point is this. Great business leaders understand that branding is about strategic actions over time. Durable, consistent, strategic actions over time. Let's talk about those actions. First and easiest action for branding a next-gen business now is to listen. So many next-gen leaders I talk to say, well, I've been in the business 50 years. So, I know everything there is to know about how our category works. Sorry, there were no websites 50 years ago, and I don't care what you sell. If you don't have a digital storefront or a digital presence, you're not in real business. And so what we say in branding is, let discovery be the insight. Let discovery be where your wisdoms are found. And what is discovery? Discovery is, you know what? Who are our competitors and what can we learn from them? Or who sells to the same type of buyer but sells something else? There's so much to learn from each of these organizations. Why? Because they're all talking. They're all tweeting. They're all putting up YouTube videos. They've all got websites. They're all doing, thought leadership PDFs. And so the first and biggest ask of all of you is listen. Be okay not knowing. I know it feels better to say I've been doing this a long time and therefore I have all the wisdom. That's actually not the greatest wisdom. The greatest wisdom is to ask the questions that are relevant to the day. And so the first duty is go on a voyage of discovery. Study competitors, study like-minded peers, listen to their podcasts, and don't grind your teeth angry about it. Feel lucky to get to hear it. Feel lucky to get to learn so dynamically and fluidly. So first and highest order of business is be open to the new knowledge. Be open to the insight that's now been made available. I'll give you an example. If I was branding one of your businesses 20 years ago, imagine how hard it was for us to study consumers and customers. You're selling them some big consulting. I mean, God, I had to like get them to go to a focus group, and half the people in the focus group didn't deserve to be there. Now you can get hot, fresh insight in a click. I mean, you really can know how your audience feels, and that's power. What that will enable you to do is better explain what you do. Brand mission is a powerful tool of simply explaining the value you bring. Now, this is not going to be a tagline. This is not going to show up on a business card. It's a resource. It's a foundation. It's like the concrete foundation of your home. It's there to support the infrastructure. Okay? A brand mission is a succinct expression of what we do and how we do it. Why is this important? Employees need it. They need to synchronize. Potential employees need it. Buyers who want none of your fluff need it. And that's why a key ingredient in a brand in the new normal is absolutely filled with clear, direct articulation of the value you bring. Now, as I said earlier, this is not a tagline. Well, nor does it need to come first, nor do you ever need to put it on a brochure. It may just simply be a content resource for you. And that might free you up a little bit. Writing your mission, not so that it sounds pithy, but writing it so that you've got sentences that you can pull from, language that you can resource. That will make this a much more powerful tool for you. But what's so cool about a really good mission is that you can match it up with a brand vision. And remember that vision is short for visionary. To look beyond, to look far forward. If the mission is tactical, functional, value today, what might happen to the category of next-gen businesses if we all do this right? What might happen to the future of fermented foods if we get this right? Well, the point of this is we want this. We say, hey, tell me what you do, but we are inspired by this. And so when you have the two together, you create the perfect balance for skeptics alike. Vision is about being visionary. What might happen if we get this right? Well, what sits between mission and vision? The most powerful word in branding, positioning. Positioning, the stake in the ground, climb the hill, we get our post. Where are we sending out our light? What is our beacon? Positioning, the unique place in the market that is ours to claim. I'd like to call it maybe the meat in the sandwich. Maybe it's the living room in the house. If the vision is, the landscaping and the decor, and the mission is the plumbing and the electricity, positioning is what does it feel like to be inside? What does it feel like to be immersed in this? Our unique place in the market that's ours to claim. And why is this so key? Well, you've heard about differentiating. You've heard about, like distinguishing your identity from that of your peers. And that works. It's fine. It's fine to be unique. But what this will eventually help you do, as I said earlier, impact.